Edward is one of the oldest engines on the Northwestern Railway. He is a mixed traffic engine like James and Henry, meaning he can pull both coaches and trucks with ease. He is not only thoughtful and wise, but he is also one of the most cleverest engines of all time, and whenever there's a problem, he will always see it through. One chilly winter's evening, Edward had just arrived at Knapford with his last commuter service of the day. He saw the fat controller waiting for him on the platform.
Good evening, sir.
Ah, Edward, glad you're here. I have urgent news. BoCo has broken down, and there's no other engine to take the midnight goods train to Barrow. Usually Bear would take it, but he's been called away. Since you're the only engine who's not busy at the moment, could you take it instead?
Of course I can, sir. I'd be happy to help. I've just finished my commuter run, as a matter of fact.
Then it's settled. It should be waiting for you already at the shunting yard. Oh, and I've just got a weather report saying that there's going to be a thick fog tonight, so make sure you have a bright light and be careful. It'll be a difficult journey.
Yes, sir.
Come on, old boy. Let's get these coaches to the carriage shed and get you ready before we head off. As its name applies, the Midnight Goods is an express goods train that leaves the big station at midnight, carrying all sorts of various goods. Usually, engines like BoCo and Bear would take it in turns pulling it, but sometimes other engines would take the train if the two diesels are unavailable. It was nightfall by the time Edward was ready. The cold wind blew, but he had a toasty hot firebox to keep him warm. He backed onto the train and was coupled up. While his fireman went to make sure everything is in good order, the driver checked over the old blue engine's headlamps one more time for safety. Oliver came by with the mail train. Hello, Edward. It's surprising to see you taking the midnight goods on this one night.
I know, I don't usually pull it, but it's a nice change of pace from my usual work.
Take care, won't you? It is going to be foggy tonight, and you don't want to get lost or get accidentally caught by some nasty diesels. You know what they can be like.
I appreciate the warning, Oliver, but don't worry, I'll be okay. It'll only be for one journey.
Alrighty then. Best of luck! Soon, everything was all set. The last door banged, and the guard showed her green lamp. Slowly and steadily, Edward pulled out of the yard and towards the open line. Everything was going smoothly. The lines are clear, the trucks clatter behind, and Edward was enjoying himself as the rails hummed cheerfully under his wheels and signal lights changing to green at his approach.
Ah, this is lovely.
But it wouldn't be for long. As they were approaching through Kildane Station, the fog came down.
Oh my, I never expected to see that much fog. This is going to be difficult.
We better go steady, Edward. Even with your headlamps on, we need to be very cautious. So they did, but by then it was too late. They were making their way through Henry's forest, but Edward and his crew didn't see that in the fog there was a loose tree branch hanging above the line. All of a sudden, it fell and broke Edward's headlamps with a thud.
Oh, ouch!
Edward wasn't hurt, but he was most surprised. His driver and fireman jumped down to look at his front. Well, if that doesn't take the damn biscuit, your lamps are broken.
Oh dear, how will we get this train to Barrow now?
I don't know, but we better find a solution and fast. Otherwise, we're just gonna be stuck here until morning.
What's the matter, driver?
Edward's lamps are broken after that tree branch fell out of nowhere. Unless we find a replacement, we can't move without a working light. It'll be too dangerous to carry on in this weather.
Well, I do only have one spare lamp in my van. You're more than welcome to borrow it if you want.
At least there's one good thing. But all we need now is another lamp that is much bigger and brighter so that we can see where we're going. But how? While the crew and guard went on discussing about what they should do next, Edward, on the other hand, could suddenly make out something that was shining bright through the fog.
Driver, can you move me up a little further, please?
Edward's driver was surprised at first, but then he too saw the light from his engine's point of view. So reluctantly, he eased Edward forward. When they stopped, they could now see it was a plate layer's hut, and outside was an amber lamp hanging from a small pin of the hut. Suddenly, this gave Edward a very bright idea. He whistled twice to see if anyone was there. Hello?
Old Bailey, I didn't expect to see you here. I thought you were working as a station master at Harwin Lake.
Yes, well, I enjoy my job operating that station, but that doesn't mean an old man can lend a hand in this fog now and then. Anyway, tonight's my duty on patrol to ensure there's no accident. So, what can I do for you at this neck of the woods?
Well, sir, it's a bit complicated, but you see, we have an important goods train to take to the mainland, but my headlamps are broken. So I thought, if that's alright with you, that perhaps we could borrow your amber lamp as an escort to help us see the way and finish our journey.
Why, bless my soul! Of course you can! As a matter of fact, I actually have a spare one in the hut in case this one goes out. I'd be delighted to lend it to you. Well done, Edward. You are a very clever engine. And that's just what they did. Edward was soon fitted with both Old Bailey's lamp and the guard's spare one, which the driver changed from red to white, and he continued on with the rest of his journey without any mishap. At last they reached Barrow in Furness, a bit late, but not beaten. There you are. I was starting to get worried.
We had a bit of a slight problem on the way, sir, but everything's alright now.
A diesel shunter took the trucks away, and Edward went to the sheds where he rested there for the night. The next morning, he puffed back to Sodor light engine. Along the way, he and his crew made a brief stop at the forest again to bring back Old Bailey his lamp, and after a brief thank you, they set off for home. When Edward finally made it back to the sheds, the other engines were there. Hello, Edward. We heard you were taking the midnight goods last night. How was it? Hope it has been uneventful for ye.
Well, it's quite a long story, really, but I'll tell all of you.
And as the morning sun shone over the island, Edward told the other engines all about his unusual adventure.